Yo, what's good, world? It's your boy Twiz, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Twisdom. 5 minutes of tips and tricks to help grow your music brand. Well, we out here in Florida today, man. What's good, family?
Welcome
How y'all
back.
doing? Hey, so we brought Soy Joe again. He just keeps coming back.
Yes, sir.
But we enjoy the album. But today we got a special guest, my dog, my brother, RB. What's happening with you, brother?
What's up, man?
That's what's up. So on today's episode, we're gonna talk a little bit about music production woes, like the things we go through as a producer. And as you're a producer, you know, there's things that we all go through, like as far as the career of the producer. So how did you get started with producing?
The way that I got started, well, I've been in music like ever since I can honestly remember. My mom said it all started with me being 2 years old. She would pull out pots and pans and spoons and stuff, and I would just play. And she found it odd that, you know, I had like really good rhythm at that time, and so it just kind of flourished from there. Grew, started getting into keys a little bit, and found out that I could actually sing based on The Lion King.
Not The Lion King.
The Lion King.
You were singing Circle of Life?
Exactly, bro.
What was your favorite track on that soundtrack?
I'm gonna be a mighty king.
Can we get a sample?
That's all you get. That's all you get. This cold weather.
It's not it, right?
Nah. So, yeah, man. That's where my music ability pretty much began. So it kind of enhanced more and more over the years. By the time I turned 15, my mom, she invested in me. She got this beat machine. It was called the Zoom 123 track. I still remember that thing to this day.
Black and white, right?
It was actually a blue.
No, it was a blue.
A baby blue.
A baby blue.
Yeah. A baby blue, man.
Yeah, limited edition will probably.
Yeah. But I do think that they had it in black and white though. But I had a baby blue one, and man, I was hooked.
Wow.
Every day after school, come home, make beats, man. So that's how it all began.
That's cool, man.
That's what's up, man. So being that you have some experience being a producer, a lot of our audience are new producers and just trying to get started. So what kind of advice would you have for a young producer, who's trying to get in the game? I would say probably start with equipment. Like how much equipment they would need to kind of get started and do some music production.
Got you. I mean, honestly, nowadays you really don't need much. I mean, shoot, you get a laptop, maybe a MIDI controller, and of course speakers, headphones, and what is it, like a Scarlett Focusrite audio interface. There you go, and you straight pretty much. You know, you can start there. Oh, make sure that you have a decent software, DAW, whether it be Logic, Fruity Loops, Reason, whatever. You know,
they don't know what Fruity Loops is, man.
Oh, they don't know it.
No, they don't know what that Fruity Loops is.
FL Studios. My bad. FL
Studios. It's not Kentucky Fried Chicken no more. It's KFC. It's KFC.
Yes, FL Studios, man. So, yeah, invest in one of those, and you'll be straight, man. See what works for you, and yeah, you'll be straight.
Go ahead.
I got a question.
Yeah, no.
You know, so you've been producing for roughly how long now?
I could definitely tell you over 10 years.
If you could go back 10 years from now and tell yourself any one thing, you know, to based on what you know now, 10 years of hindsight, you can go back 10 years and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
It would probably be.
These are questions we live on, man.
No. In all honesty, it would probably be like really take advantage of relationships. Actually, talk up more.
Right.
You know, and
you feel like you didn't do good at that early in your
I don't feel like I did very well with that.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Cool.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, you know, that part, you know, if you're an introvert and, you know, producing is probably one of the best introvert type things. Well, it used to be, you know, where you be behind the scenes. Now you gotta do everything now, social media and everything. But you definitely have to talk to people because you never know who you meet, like when you travel. Like I tell artists all the time, enjoy your trip. You know, enjoy to talk to people. Don't be so closed and isolated to where you won't know. So talking is just, you know, a lot of times people struggle with like icebreakers and stuff like that. One thing that helped me is if I don't know what to say, I look at them to see if there's something that may like relate to me or something. So for instance, if I saw you, I'm like, yo, I like that jacket. You know what I'm saying? That jacket looks really cool. What material is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though that's not necessarily, you know, what I'm thinking at the moment, but that's what stands out to me about you right now.
Yeah.
And so I do that, and then you told the jacket, yeah. And if if it was special to you, you're gonna talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be like, yeah, my mom gave me this jacket, or yo, I just bought this jacket because I was coming somewhere, and that can just, you know, lead to different things. So ask kind of questions on that.
Yeah. Whereas, you know, for me, I've always been kind of naturally introverted, but to the outside looking in, others would tell me, man, you are actually very extroverted. Yeah, extroverted. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I can feel a little closed off, but I do like to engage with people to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, for me, how can I say this? I'm good at starting a conversation,
right?
But keeping a conversation going, I feel like I just have to like wing it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's more common than you think, though.
Yeah,
it's way more.
You know, and being in this profession, that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
you have to do that. You have to step out, make those connections. And like I said earlier, if I could go back those years, I would tell myself to be more brave and, you know, just try to do those things, man. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So let's just say you're a little more seasoned producer, you know, maybe not somebody at your level per se, but they're at that next level. They understand their equipment. They already have their DAW. They're starting to, you know, create beats that sounding pretty decent, that they're happy with. They're in there. They're in their bag right now. So
in their bag.
Like they found their sound. They're you know they know how to operate.
Okay.
They may not be to the level where it's like super consistent, but they can actually do that. So just to set the stage for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what are some challenges that a producer may have after they're done with the intro stuff?
What are some challenges that they may have after done with like being in their bag and everything?
Yeah.
I would say probably getting their stuff out there.
True.
You know.
True. How important do you think the paperwork and the music business side of it?
Who doesn't want money?
Play at that point.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want money? If you want money,
yeah,
you better get hip with it.
yeah,
as much as possible. So I mean, like, understand publishing, understand what is it, split sheets and contracts, and know your terms, you know, to the best of your ability.
When you talk about like the producers and stuff, when you're speaking of split sheets, a lot of times you see producers don't really get a lot of points on a record like that. Do you think that that's a fair thing because they just created the beat, or do you think producers should definitely get a little bit more love when it comes to the split sheets?
I honestly believe that a lot of producers coming in, they just don't know, and they don't have a lot of knowledge based on that. And I think one of the books that I really like is I always misquote the book. It's at the top of my tongue, and I just cannot think.
What is it on?
Everything you should know about the music business.
Yes, Donald.
I love that book.
Yes,
I love
that book.
The green cover?
Yes.
We met him in Clubhouse once.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Not Jackie, but yeah.
Wow.
My fiance was there, and I was telling her right after I spoke with the guy, I have 3 copies of this guy's book.
Yeah.
He's coming out with another.
They update like
He's coming out with a
I
brand
think
new
the
one.
last one is like the 11th, the 12th edition.
It was like 12th edition or
Yeah.
13th edition, but I talked to him less than 6 months ago, he's coming out with a brand new book, like brand new.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be looking.
He
out.
really dropped.
Needless to say, though,
I loved the chapter about the tour when the artist was. I'm sorry.
No,
The artist was on tour and the artist had a fake breakdown, like they couldn't do the tour anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Remember that part?
Mhm.
But all that because they wanted to cut all of the people off of the tour.
Yeah.
They wanted to pay them out.
That's great.
crazy stuff. But I mean, it's books like that will actually help you to understand, what goes on in the industry, how to get, your contracts and business together, man. And so
It's a great book. It's written from a little bit of an older time period.
Facts.
From like everything was machine driven.
But some of it still
But
applies.
a lot of it still applies. And granted, talking with the author, I did bring that up, and he said a lot of the stuff he's going to be doing in his new edition is going to be social media, is going to be streaming stuff. So I'm excited to see it.
I'm super excited.
I get
about
super
that.
excited anytime somebody brings that book up because that was like a diamond in the rough.
Right.
That was something like I would give my personal copy out to students and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got like 30 days with this, bring it back. Like that was like my work Bible. I brought that to school, brought that to the studio, everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I gotta get back on the book, honestly.
Yeah,
Just to,
reading is. I try to stay up on a lot of different books. Like right now, I'm reading Rick Ross' Time to Boss Up.
I gotta get on
that book was really good. I like 50 Cent's on too. Like the different mindset of each of them is amazing because 50 Cent is probably he's probably a little more arrogant, like he's like a shark, but at the same time his moves are intentional. You know what I mean? As far as getting it out there like that. And Ross on is a little different too. He adds like different avenues would help him, kind of get out there like that. One thing I want to touch on before you mentioned, we didn't really dive too deep in, is you were saying getting your stuff out there as a producer. How frustrating is that for you if it's still a current thing, or what are some challenges that you have faced before on getting your producers out or heard about producers getting their music out?
Challenges. I would say probably the response level of reaching out to our artists and hoping that artists would possibly return your message or whatever the case may be. But I'll say in order to get over that hump, like first understanding that you're gonna receive like a whole bunch of no's, that's just a part of the game. You're just gonna receive a whole bunch of no's, but you'll find those artists that will be willing to work with you, and if you just continue to push for it and just continuing to network as much as possible. So,
Yeah, and definitely, and one thing that I face, coming up in my career as far as a producer, is really like marketing myself on social media as a producer.
Okay.
Like that was really tough for me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, do I just post videos of myself making beats? Do people like that? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Pictures, obviously studio, all that stuff. Like, are people interested? And on top of that, like, I have like a bazillion beats on my hard drive. A bazillion. Some started, finished, they sound good, but it's just over time they've just been stacking.
Yeah.
And then I have some that's like incomplete, that sounds good, the idea was good, but I never finished it.
That brings me to another point too. Like I'm kind of like you to where I have like a lot of stuff on my hard drive, and what kind of prohibits me from releasing it is the fact that I kind of feel like some stuff is a little dated.
Facts.
And so it's just and so it's just like that plays a toll on my mental to a degree. But then you having to play that joint in front of somebody and they're like, man, this joint go hard, bro. Like it's going hard for this time. And I'm just like, and I'm like, you really like this, bro?
Yeah.
So
as a producer, I think we think too much from a producer's perspective because it's dated to us, but at one point in time we liked it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean it wasn't bad. It's just that, you got to get your music in front of the right people who's going to do it. And I actually had a recent, epiphany about this. I was in the kitchen. My wife ordered me some, well not ordered, she bought me some Cheez-Its, right? And on the face of the box it says very toasty. Right? So I'm thinking like, okay, it's a little more crunchy, it should have a nice taste. You know, you got the little smoking little thing on there, the graphics looking nice, right? So I opened it, I'm like, it's a little dark, you know what I'm saying? And I took a bite. You can taste the burnt flavor. And so what they did, I'm like, yo, this is genius marketing. Like all the ones that we burnt on the burner, we literally put it in another bag, put a whole nother face on it, and we called it very toasty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo,
that is crazy.
If I got these beats on my hard drive and I'm feeling like nobody ain't gonna like it, somebody's gonna buy this stuff. We just have to rebundle it and market it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Call it the flat pack. Well, what's that? I don't know, but it's in this pack right here, and you can buy it for a certain amount of price. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you have to market yourself as a producer. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually smart. Like they recycled what they have and just made it look different. You know what I'm saying? So I know that was for me. Like my wife asks me all the time for me about that. She's like, boy, you got all those beats sitting there. Your beats need to be working for you. It can't do nothing sitting on that hard drive. You got to do something about it. But I was like you, self-conscious, like, nah, this stuff sounds dated, you know. Yeah. And dated for us could be, that was last week. You know?
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to say no?
Nah, he got a Michael Tennant.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that's just just some things that the producers go through with that. Last question right here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother. I know you got to get ready to hit that road and be safe on that travels.
Yeah, boy.
So what would you say is your favorite arsenal to use while making beats? Do you use the same thing? Do you try different things? How does that work, your production process?
Yes, sir. Usually I try to use different things as much as possible.
Right.
Just to try to, switch up the sound just a little bit, figure out different cadences and different ways to approach a track. And so, do
you think you have to know how to play piano or keyboard to make beats?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think that you should know a few foundational things, at least learn your scales, know basic theory. But for the most part, I don't think that you have to know how to play.
Yeah. You know what really grinds my gears as far as you said learning the basic stuff? When they have out-of-tune 808s. That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Bro, because they don't know. They don't know better. They don't know no better.
Some bass, what are you going to get out of that?
Listen, out-of-tune bass. So for instance, if you got, loops is a big thing now for people who may not be,
But your sub is mainly G.
Nah, so if you're using a key of C, bro, and all your sounds are in that key, and then you use an 808 that's a G flat, that's gonna sound horrible.
That's what I'm saying. If your sub is mainly G, right?
Yeah.
If your sub is mainly
But
G,
I'm saying the melodies is in a different key.
That to?
But I'm saying your melodies is in a different key. You use not usually. I don't know.
You give me I need the one on one.
Usually, I'm just speaking of myself. I try to make sure the 808. Yeah, my voice again. That's something sexy. All right.
What's up, Anchor? What's happening?
It was good.
What's happening, Anchor?
What's up, Spotify? No, for me, if my key is in C, I'll have the 808 kind of matching the melody of the beat, so it can do it. Sometimes you can switch it up, but again, that's knowing those scales to kind of get it on there.
That's when you open up the ramen noodles, and that's the little sauce packet.
That's it, bro.
That's the little sauce.
You gotta do it
packet.
because I hate when everything sounds good and then you got these 808s that just sound so out of tune.
Right.
It can really mess up the dynamic of your song.
That's very true. However, I don't feel like you actually have to know scales in order to have it in key. It's just about your ear, dog.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of even if you feel like it may be out of tune low end, at least, increase the octave up.
Yeah, true.
And then you can play it from the melody there, and then just pitch that thing back low.
That's true. A lot of when I notice with a lot of people, and I'm more of a technical observer, a lot of folks don't realize once you have it in MIDI that it is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
It's no
facts.
longer a drum.
Yeah.
If you're working with live samples, if you're working with audio samples, then this doesn't apply. If you're working with loops, this doesn't apply.
Most people in FL Studio, so that's like the first MIDI I ever,
So-
it's the same thing.
I was trying to explain to somebody who wanted to score symphonic scoring,
Right.
wanted to score something that was done on a chord, right? Just like you said, Triton, old school 90s Triton.
Right.
And they want to bring that into something that's more newer. And the whole idea, a concept of dumping the audio versus exporting the MIDI.
Right.
If you just want the sound from your chord Triton, you dump the audio because the sound belongs in the Triton. But if you want the melodies, the chords, the what you played, the sheet music of what you played, you just export that MIDI and then you can put.
Yeah.
I basically sold them on Omnisphere.
Yeah.
I was like, get
I'm still
Omnisphere.
looking for that from Mac, man. I'm
Well,
still
Omnisphere?
Omnisphere, yeah. I've been hunting for that for years. PC, I have it all day long. I see it all day long for PC. Mac, I have not found it yet.
Are you?
Omnisphere, I have Omnisphere.
So we can do a swap.
Yeah.
I got Final Cut Pro.
So listen.
We're gonna talk after this. We're gonna talk after this because
So listen.
Please.
This is
I'm gonna search
definitely media that's out there.
Yeah,
Keep that in mind.
I got you.
Going back to what I said.
I'm sorry.
I ain't say nothing. I ain't taking nothing from nobody. I ain't giving nobody nothing.
It's like, yo,
we're pirated and stuff, bro.
Listen, I don't know that word. I'm in Tampa, so the only pirates I know is the Buccaneers right now.
Oh, man.
Gasparilla.
There was some in a parade.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't be looking for us. I ain't trying to go down.
It's legit. It's legit. I got the code.
No, but that's something like it's a really simple theory where it's basically MIDI can now be Omnisphere sounds. It can be I don't know, sounds from any type of source. You know
That's
what I
all
mean?
it is. MIDI's all it is data. That's it. It's just data.
People get too wrapped up in thinking it's sound. It's not.
Nah, it's not.
It's just on and off.
It's just literally, yeah. It's just literally switches to tell you.
No, on
It's
and
almost,
off.
I tell people it's like, it's MIDI, it's like the old school piano where you see the little notes right there. And then-
Yeah, like
Exactly.
like an old saloon and
That's
stuff
exactly what
like that.
MIDI is. It's just really playing by itself.
Right.
Yeah. that's
And you
what's up.
really don't even need a MIDI keyboard anymore. You really don't.
I started FL Studio just clicking the mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
It was FL Studio.
Yeah.
That was just the little bubbles.
Yeah, that's
And like even with Logic, you can pull up the keys.
Yeah,
hit the
with
caps.
Yeah.
Or
That's it.
if you're really nice with it, just go into the actual
Try it.
in the actual MIDI
I used to do that too.
MIDI window and just boom 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 boom.
Yeah,
Stretch it.
Try it.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
But that's what's up, man. I appreciate you guys with that conversation, bro. I know some producers somewhere need that conversation, man.
Yeah.
So again, RB, man, let them know where to find you at, man, so they can check you out and see some of the
Thanks.
beats and productions you got going on.
Yes, sir. So you can find me. I'm sorry. You can find me at Twitter.
I'm producing you all.
You can find me on
I love
Twitter,
you, man.
Instagram, Facebook, all at the same thing. It's at RB_music. It is AURBE_music. You can also find me on my website, www.rbmusic.com. And I'm on all music streaming platforms, so just get at your boy.
So good. Where do you find you at, man? Where you at, bro? Make sure
Fridays
that's
and
my heart, man.
Saturdays, you'll find me at the nearest taco spot.
You going back to Taco Bus?
Taco Bus. Let me not.
I'm trying to say
like,
hey, man, she
Let
all the way
me
up.
not even try to talk about Taco Bus because I'm gonna give some bad reviews.
All right. Yeah.
But on Instagram, so go JSO_IT_GO_JAY. Jason Dial, DIAL. On all other social media platforms, streaming on all streaming platforms as well, with Twiz under Jason Dial. Straightforwardstudio.com, just launched that, a lot of updates and stuff, new information coming to that. We are definitely reaching out to local business, small business. Honestly, I'm looking at it as like, because this is a good platform to talk about it, I'm looking at it as like, we know the music industry. We
Right.
work with musicians, we work with singers, songwriters, and all that stuff. So I'm trying to take this and focus more on small businesses and advertising and stuff with it.
Hey,
That's
I'm
what's
telling
up.
you about that. That's what's up.
That's
That's
what's
what's up. That's what's up. Hey, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell so you keep going. All right, it's another episode of 5 Minutes of Twism. It's your boy Twiz. So it go J, RB.
RB.
We out. Certified.